What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to talk about this Drake interview that came out yesterday. So Drake did a interview with Complex News, their hip hop reporter side, and this interview is about like his rollout for Iceman and like why he did it and why he thinks it's a good uh it pushes the industry forward in very unique ways. And I just want to say before I start, like, guys, I have a whole new respect for these because I know how much work goes into them. So we'll talk about that. This is gonna be a longer video just to let you guys know because it's a long interview and I have a lot to talk about, a lot of points that I want to talk about. But first of all, I want to give my opinion on Drake. So, this morning, one of my uncles came by and he asked me, and he's also into like the hip hop music scene, and he's like, "Do you still respect Drake? I mean, do you still like Drake after the battle with Kendrick?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do, but do I respect him as much as I used to, like as an MC? No, I do not. Because um because like one, his main focus isn't rapping anymore. It's how can I get the young people to like me, which I don't think should be your goal. Your goal as a rapper, right, or as a person that makes music, find your lane and stick in it. Right, like that unless you're like a Carrie Underwood, or a The Weekend, or a person that's trained how to sing in multiple different genres and has been singing all their life. The thing about Drake is I like rap Drake, right? So like for me, I'll still support his music. I'll still go to his shows, but like to me, Kendrick will always and like this isn't because of a beef, man. I still love Drake. Again, I'll listen to his music. I'll go to his shows. But to me, like in terms of rapping capability, like Kendrick will always be better than him, right? Like because he hasn't like if you look like one of the things I respected about the beef is Drake that inspired Drake to rap again, right? But then he went back to like his R&B bag and stuff like that. And I'm fine with that. I like Drake R&B. But I will never acknowledge Drake as like one of the greatest singers in the history of the world. Like if you look at the R&B singers that I've seen, if you just look at the singers that I've seen, like Carrie Underwood, um, The Weeknd, Twice, Usher, Chris Brown, they're all better singers than him, right? And like in terms of rapping ability, yeah, he has the best rapping ability out of like Drake and Chris. I mean, out of like Drake and Usher. Drake has the best rapping ability because Usher and Chris have both rapped before, but they don't claim to be rappers, right? And Chris Brown can really rap. Drake has the best rapping ability out of all of them, but again, I will never acknowledge Drake as a straight up singer. But like one of like I'm still excited for this Iceman rollout because I think that he has something to prove with this. So that is my little explanation on my opinion on Drake. From so now we can get into this interview. So for me, I have a whole new respect for these Iceman live streams, right? Because basically what this interview does is it gives us context of why Drake is doing live streams and stuff. Drake has almost been in the game for like 20 plus years, or 20 years, right? Almost. Like '08 is when Drake came out, and like um and he said he wanted to do the live streams for multiple reasons. Like I've been a YouTuber for almost like going into next year will be my 5 years on YouTube, right? so through that time, I've covered a lot of album rollouts, both in the country space where I covered on my country channel where I cover country rock and gospel music, and on this channel, right? Um, so what he said was he wanted to roll out music in a different way that nobody's ever seen before, and he's he's like to hear them talk about the shots they have to do and stuff like that, because the streams, no matter what you think of them, dude, like I don't care if you're a fan of Drake like myself or not, right? Like those streams have qualities to them, right? Like they have quality production to them, right? And basically what this interview was explaining why he did the streams, what he basically teased more Iceman streams in the future. I don't know if that means we're gonna get one before the end of the year, because the end of the year is coming up pretty fast here. But I hope we do. Right? I hope we get whatever the album is um, next year or sometime soon, because I really do think, guys, he has something to prove, right? Like, for example, like right now, as I just spent like 5 minutes explaining you what my opinion of Drake is now, right? He doesn't have my respect as an MC. But if he comes in and is like rapping his ass off on this album, he'll start to gain that back, right? So for me, what this interview was about was, um, so he, so he, it was. I watched a video on this. Shout out to Rob Markman. If you guys want to see him break down and read the whole article, go watch his video, right? On the interview, and then you can come back to this one, because I'm not gonna read the interview for you. I'm just gonna talk about the points that I want to talk about. So, yeah. For me, this interview was very interesting because he talked about like he wants a challenge. Like he's been dying to act again for a while, right? And like these live streams are like music videos, but longer music videos. Like, and there's acting moments in them. Like he samples and plays new music. He walks around and meets Yeet in bars, and he's driving around Toronto. He's driving around Italy. He's driving around Manchester, right? And for me, like, it's definitely a very interesting way to roll out your stuff, like roll out your shit, right? Because it's unique. It's like a Tyler, the Creator rollout, or a Kendrick rollout. Their rollouts are very unique. Or like when J. Cole finally rolls out the Fall Off, hopefully next year. Like, I like these type of rollouts where artists will take risks and stuff like that. Cause he even talks about that. He's like, I don't know if this is gonna work, right? I don't know if this is gonna work. I didn't know if episode 1 was gonna work. OVO didn't know if episode 1 was gonna work. So for me, it's really cool to see an artist like Drake. Uh, like for the record, I still have respect for him, just not as much respect as I did have for him after the lawsuit and like some of the moves he's been making after the battle with Kendrick. I still have respect for him though. He like I will never acknowledge him as a great singer, but he's a decent singer, right? I would say that, right? Um, and as a rapper, when he wants to, he can spit, right? But the reason why I don't have as much respect for him as I did is because when he lost the rap battle, he sued Kendrick for defamation, right? And UMG and stuff like that. And I just don't get down with that, right? And stuff like that. So yeah, but I still have respect for him in the sense that he's still willing to take risks, right? Like, and don't get it twisted. These Iceman live streams are a risk because they're like hour long, like episodes, and like with all the production, like he talked about the drones that you have to like. It was an interview with him and his business partner, right? Um, so he talked about the drones that he uses. He talked about like um the logistics of it. Like, keep in mind, guys, like he did two of these episodes that we've gotten so far while he was on tour in Europe, right? So he talked about they were originally gonna film in someplace in Europe, but they couldn't. And then some places they couldn't film, right? Like the police asked them to not film here, right? Um, and like you can tell like as the episodes go on, they get more complex and stuff like that. Because I've made a promise to y'all, and I'll continue to do this, right? When new Iceman episodes come out, I'm gonna do a theory video about like, because I have my theories on what it's all leading to, right, and stuff like that. So yeah, like for me, like it's a very interesting way to roll out music because it kind of reminds me. Now, I didn't follow the rollout to this because I was like 8 years old when this album came out, but I've gone back and looked it up because people kept referencing that rollout. And this album from Kanye, I think, is his best work, right? Dark Twisted Fantasy. When Kanye West was rolling out Dark Twisted Fantasy, he would do a series. Again, I didn't follow this because I was like 8 or 9, or no, I was like 8 or 9 years old at the time, right? So I didn't follow this rollout, but and that's when I still listened to clean versions of music, right? So that's how long ago that was. But what he's doing kind of reminds me of what Kanye did with Dark Twisted Fantasy. So if you guys were like me and didn't follow the rollouts back then, right? Um, he would he would go around to different buildings. So he went around and played for Double XL, which is like the biggest hip hop magazine. He went around and played for Complex. He went around and played for Facebook Building, but he would always play like new songs or play beats for songs and stuff like that. Like, for example, if we want to take the Drake thing, like, I like Rappity Rap Drake. Like, my favorite Drake song in the last, like, 2 years was Push Ups because he was rapping his ass off there, right? Um, right? For me, like, um, it's, it kind of reminds me of Good Friday in the sense that, like, he would play the beats or he would play like certain songs, but like certain songs didn't make the cut for Dark Twisted Fantasy because he would get the feedback and stuff like that. Like, for example, I didn't like Which One. You guys know that. I think that song's one of the worst songs in Drake's career. But I loved What Did I Miss because it reminded me of old Drake. Like, okay, you got something. I I liked I think it's called Doghouse with Yeet, which I still need to review that song. That may happen. I really like that song because Drake's rapping, right? Not like Forest Hills Drive rapping, but he's rapping, right? Um, and what I want to hear from Drake is a banging rap album. That's what I want. Or because I've done a video on this too, like do a 10 song album where it's 5 straight rap songs and 5 R&B songs, right? Like again, like, I get it. Drake's a very creative guy. But again, I'm fine if you go into a bunch of different genres if you're trained on how to do those genres or if you can really sing. Drake can't really sing. He's a decent singer, but he can't go and be like, I don't like when Drake uses accents, right? I honestly find that disrespectful, in my opinion, right? Um, like the Scarborough accent, that's fine. We all have a bit of that because, like, my family has a condo in Toronto, so I'm there a pretty decent amount. Like that's where I've basically seen all my concerts since I've lived here. Besides like one, which was Carrie Underwood, right? And Ludacris and Boyz II Men. I saw that in Ludacris and Boyz II Men. I saw in Windsor where I live, and then Carrie Underwood. I saw in Detroit, and Josh White I saw in Detroit, or Drake White I saw in Detroit. But other than that, I've pretty much seen every other concert that I've been to in Toronto. So I'm there a fair amount, and my brother lives out there, right? So like he doesn't live in Scarborough, but if you go to Scarborough, like Toronto has an accent. So I'm fine with Drake using the Toronto accent because he's from there. But when he starts to use like fake British accents, fake Jamaican accents, right? Like I'm I'm sick of that shit. Like I don't like that shit. Right? So for me like I want this album to be as good as he says it's gonna be, right? Which I want this album to be him being like, hey, I know I lost the battle, but I can still really rap. That's what this album has to be, right? I don't want Drake doing like 10 different genres because that's what Drake that I don't like because he doesn't sound focused, right? He like he doesn't sound like but when Drake is focused, you get songs like Push-Ups, bro, right? Right? Or you get songs like Marvin's Room, or you get songs like uh, Only Live Once with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross. You get songs like that, like, but when he's not focused, you get dog shit like Which One or My Padre, or Meet Your Padre, right? Right, like I don't like artists that chase trends, bro. I like artists that are them and they know what they want to do and they do it, right? And stuff like that. So yeah, for me that's uh but other than that, like the interview was really like and he says there will be more Iceman episodes. He didn't say how many, but he said the finale will be our best work. So we'll see whatever that means and stuff like that. No, there hasn't been an Iceman episode um, um, announced uh, yet. Like Iceman episode 4. I hope we get one. I hope we at least get one more before the end of the year. But it's the middle of November, dude, so we'll see. Right? Right? But yeah, like I'm 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 excited and interested to hear this album. For from Drake because I really think he has something to prove, right? And stuff like that, and hopefully he proves it. So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you have thoughts on where Drake is in the music industry right now and what you want from this Iceman album, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for all your support, and I hope you have a great day.